We appreciate your company this afternoon. First, the race to lead the New Patriotic Party in the 2028 presidential election is shaping up as results from 8 polls tracked by the Joy News research team put Dr. Bawumia at 46%, with Kennedy Agyapong following closely with 38%. Now, the results also show that a significant number of delegates remain undecided. Head of research here at Joy News, Isaac Kofi joins me in studio with exclusive details. Kofi, what's the data saying?
Well, so MFR, this is different from the normal or traditional polls that we know. So what we did was to, sample 8 polls from Global Info Analytics. We took 3 polls, 3 of their recent polls, 3 polls from Sanity Africa, 1 poll from Africa, Policy Lens, and 1 poll from Dr. Evans Idua. And what we did was that we decided to use the poll aggregator, which is popular in the US, to try and test what is going on as far as this, the race to lead the NPP in 2028 is concerned. So 8 polls is what we are going to base our findings from. Now, after these polls, what we realize is that if you look at the aggregator, what the aggregator is telling you from the 3 polls from Global Info Analytics, 3 from Sanity Africa and Policy Lens and Dr. Dia, what you see is that Dr. Bawumia currently, according to the average of the polls we've put together, his numbers currently stands at 45.86%, roughly 45.9%. Kennedy Agyapong is around 37%. Bawumia Agyapong is around 5.64%. Dr. Agyapong 2%. Kennedy Agyapong 1%, and you have 8% who still remain undecided. Okay. Now, based on the polls that we actually track, what are they saying? In terms of Global Info Analytics, Sanity Africa, and all of them, how did each of them, poll in terms of the predictions or what the delegates are saying? If you look at the 8 polls that we've looked at so far, 4 currently are predicting a win for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, with 3 of them all being from Global Info Analytics. Very, very important to know that, because in terms of regularity of the polls, we know that it's Global Info Analytics that has been very regular in terms of releasing polls upon polls and polling different, election outcomes in the country. So 3 from there, all predicting a win for Dr. Bawumia, but still put it in context that we have a significant number of undecided, voters. And in terms of 4 also for Kennedy Agyapong, and we still have 8%, based on what we've tracked from all the polls, 8% of the delegates are still undecided or have decided not to disclose where their vote is going to be.
What does this figure or this number mean for both front runners?
Well, in fact, looking at the 50% plus or minus 1, if you look at what we have so far, none of them, according to the aggregator that we have put together, has been able to get 50% plus or minus 1. And so if that is the case, then it means that those who are going to decide the outcome of the election will be this 8%, at least 8%, it could be more, 8% undisclosed, delegates who currently have not made a decision where their vote is going to be, because if you're able to eat from this big pie, it determines where you'll be or what you get at the end of the election.
But it also depends the number that you have already.
Absolutely.
So this 8, no matter how much bigger pie you can take, it really will still be favorable to one person more than the other.
Exactly. It could be, but in terms of the 2 front runners, all of them, if you're able to get all the 8%,
it can go to any of them.
It makes a big difference. But what is the picture looking like? Tracking what was, put out in 2023, what we had in 2023, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia going into this election with, 61% from the previous election, closely, monitored again, contested by Kennedy Agyapong, 37%. And many have said that the coming on board of Bawumia Agyapong, Dr. Agyapong, and even Kennedy Agyapong can actually mean a lot to how the numbers will pan out, especially Bawumia's numbers of 61%. But there are those who still believe that Bawumia could pull somewhere about 61%. What we've tracked so far shows that in terms of first attempt of all MPP presidential primaries, this is the highest any of them has ever gotten. 61% for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, but he's still facing 8% undecided registered voters or delegates who will determine where the election will be on Saturday.
The few days to the final day wouldn't mean anything at all. It means that both front runners should attack the 8%. those in that poll.
8% plus even your base, because momentum to vote or propensity to vote is very, very important. Ability to hit people to come out, come and vote, delegates, very, very important. So whilst you're targeting the undecided, you should be able to also galvanize your base of people who traditionally will support you.
Kennedy Agyapong, champion. Thank you so much.